Hello, my name is Michael Ramage. I am the director of the Center for Computer Information Technology at Murray State University, and welcome back. The past 2 weeks, you have heard us talk about two of our annual award winners and highlighted a little bit about what they are. We are back again to highlight yet another one of our winners. This week, we are going to be looking at the Lana Garner Porter Women in Technology Award. And recently, I got to catch up with our award winner and present her with this year's award. Take a look. Today, we want to recognize Lauren Prohl. Lauren is this year's winner of the Lana Garner Porter Women in Technology Award. This award is presented to a woman who has made a significant contribution to the industry and or CIT through her leadership, technical, and or management skills. Lauren is a graduate of Murray State in our telecommunications systems management program. She graduated as interesting to me as it is just 6 years ago. And as you hear a little bit about her, you will be amazed that she graduated just 6 years ago because she has accomplished so much. When she left Murray State, actually, let me even start back. When she was at Murray State, she was the president of our student organization. And I remember she is the first student organization president when I came back to Murray that actually showed up in my office to ask about how to get more involved in what we were doing and how to get students more involved in things. That just right then showed me how much she was willing to go out, learn more, try to better herself. And that impressed me right away. But she left Murray State, moved out to Kansas City, took a job with United Lex, CenturyLink, and most recently, she is the manager of global cyber defense for Marsh McClellan. She has been involved in a lot of different cybersecurity areas, doing some really interesting things, continuing to improve herself, continuing to learn more, continuing to advance because she is pretty awesome at what she does. Lauren, congratulations on the Women in Technology Award this year. You are very deserving, and I really appreciate all that you have done for Murray State since you've been out, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm honored to receive this award.
Let me start by just asking, share a little bit about what you've been up to over the last few years. I mentioned your jobs or the companies that you've worked for, but share a little bit about what you've been up to.
Yeah, so it's been a wild 6 years. So I came out to Kansas City. I actually graduated in December of 2015. So I came out in May of 2015 and finished my coursework remote. Thankfully, Dr. Bowman let that happen. And so I started as SOC analyst number one. That company is building out a new managed detection and response company and wanted an analyst, and they trusted me to do it. So from there, I grew into a senior analyst role. I recruited 3 people from Murray State because I was like, let me come bring all my friends out here. And eventually that program grew. And I was looking to get more into incident response. That was kind of my calling. I like fighting fires. And that opportunity just wasn't at United Lex. So I moved over to CenturyLink, where I ended up being their lead incident responder, kind of a technical lead for them. And then during that time, I found threat hunting. If you know anything about IR, it's like very mentally taxing. It's very difficult, long hours, weird hours, and it's kind of just, you're always waiting for the next big thing to hit. And threat hunting is a little more proactive. It's a little more steady. And so I started the internal threat hunting program at CenturyLink. It's now Lumen, so I have to make sure that I get the names right. So I ran that team for about 9 months, and then Marsh McClellan came knocking and said, hey, we want you to do the same thing that you did at CenturyLink. We want you to start a threat hunting program, but we also want you to start a cyber threat intelligence program. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sold. That's great. That's right up my alley. So I moved over there in May of last year. I can't believe it's only been a year. Started their first threat hunting program, working on CTI right now. And then also they asked me to start running their security operations center while I was here. And then over the last year or two, I wrote a book with David Evenden on Security Plus training. I was featured in Tribe of Hackers Blue Team, which was incredible to be surrounded with so many people that I look up to and admire in the industry. Got got my GCIH, got my GREM, planned a wedding, survived a global pandemic, bought a house, all that fun stuff. Um, so it's been a lot. And thankfully I was able to bring a couple Murray State folks along for the ride with me.
Awesome. Well, so you mentioned writing a book, you mentioned certifications.
Mhm.
I have seen you um, speaking at a number of different events. Why do you continue to learn? Why do you want to get better? What strives you? What drives you to want to improve your knowledge and continue doing more and more?
Um, so partially I just get bored really quickly. So I need something to consume and fill my time, and security is really interesting to me, especially when you get in the CTI space and the threat hunting. It's a little more like woo woo magic. No one really knows how this is happening. And it's not, you just kind of have to learn what resources you need to look at, what training you need to take, and it kind of demystifies it, which is a really fun puzzle to solve. The other part is it's also out of necessity. This field is ever changing very rapidly. The attackers don't care that, hey, I just learned how to secure Windows 10. Well, now we've got Windows 11 coming out and they're ready to pivot to that. Um, so I have to stay on my toes. I have to keep learning, but mostly just because it's really, really interesting to me.
One other thing that you mentioned a little bit about giving back to the industry, you also give back to Murray. You serve on our advisory board for our master's program in cybersecurity. You've really helped us a lot in developing our curriculum. You help with class projects, and in a variety of different ways. You give back to not just Murray State but to the industry. Why is it important to you to also give back?
It's a two-part question for me. In terms of Murray State, Murray's got a really special place in my heart, and the TSM and cybersecurity program, even bigger part of my life because, um, for those of you who don't know, I almost flunked out of the CIS program, and I took Dr. Akuta's intro to TSM and fell in love. And TSM really gave me that opportunity to kind of come back and figure out what a life path looked like for me. And so I'm eternally grateful for that program to exist and to kind of shed light on what my passion was. And Murray gave back to me in really big ways. Wes Spencer was a huge mentor of mine and is the person I credit with getting me into cybersecurity. Michael, you were there to help me kind of build ATSM back up and throw your support behind the student organization. All of the professors were incredibly supportive. I mean, I worked on campus. Murray was just like family and a program, which is really, really hard to find in a university. So it's important to me that I can help keep that going, help build that program, help our graduates find jobs. Even if it's not with me, I'm always happy to say, hey, here's what you need to do, or here's a job that I know of, because there's 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, whatever the stat is today, unfilled roles that we need help filling. And then giving back to the industry in general, there's just so many unfilled roles and we need people to fill them. And there's so many good people who are looking for roles that maybe don't know about threat hunting or don't know about SOC, and don't know how to get there, because traditionally there haven't been a lot of standard career programs. Now, thankfully, Murray's kind of leading the charge in that with the NSA certification. But there's just so many people that need to be represented in this community and help fight the fight against the bad guys that it only makes sense to facilitate that.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we appreciate what you do for Murray State, and it's also exciting to see your career path. And you've done this much in 6 years. I'm really excited to see what the next 6 years and 10 years holds for you. Congratulations again. Lauren Pro is this year's Lana Garner Porter Women in Technology Award recipient. Thank you for your time today, and congratulations.
Thanks so much, Michael.
Well, as you heard, Lauren is certainly a deserving recipient of this year's uh, Lana Garner Porter Women in Technology Award. And I look forward to continue watching Lauren and what she accomplishes in her career. Before we wrap up today, I want to shift gears just a little bit. Next week, we have coming up on September 16th our IT Matters conference. As you've heard, or seen on our social media, it is virtual this year. So if you are watching this video on Facebook, if you're watching this video through YouTube, either place we will be streaming the conference this year. We have a great lineup of speakers. We have 4 speakers that you have likely seen some promotional material about as well that will be coming up, and we'll be sharing different aspects of both cybersecurity and IT management and entrepreneurship with us this year. It's really exciting. I think we've got a great lineup. It's September 16th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. And I want to make sure I throw the Central Time piece in there, because since it is virtual, who knows what time zone you're in. But we do have 4 speakers. We will be broadcasting live through our Murray State CIT Facebook page, our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on one of those 2 places right now, go ahead and like the page, subscribe to the channel. That way you are ready to go on Thursday the 16th when we start our conference. I appreciate your time today. I appreciate your listening in and really getting to hear Lauren's story on why she is so deserving of this award. And I look forward to sharing our next award recipient with you next week. Thank you and enjoy your day. Bye.